sacked if I didn't do it, so I better do it well. So in a moment, Sharon's going to come up and deliver a wonderful speech called From Small Beginnings. A little bit about Sharon that you may not know. Scottish parents, one of 6 children. She has 4 sisters and 1 brother. She was born in Coventry and then moved to London. She worked in, what's the word? Oh, you then went to Canada, sorry. And then she worked with, in a kind of counselling stroke training capacity, with disadvantaged people. So, you know, people like addicts and people that were kind of challenged in life in general. She experienced something called burnout. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. A lot of people can. Stress and overwhelm and burnout. Came back to the UK, and she now is, that kind of kindled her kind of passion for what she wants to do in the next stage of her life, which is back into the kind of training world with public and corporate and that type of thing. So I'd like you to give a warm welcome to Sharon, please, from Small Beginnings.
Good evening, fellow club members and guests. I'm Sharon Yardley. I've only been with this group for a couple of months, so I'm quite nervous, so if I screw up, just pretend you didn't notice. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life and what's brought me to this point and why I've come here today. When I was a little girl, there was 2 games that I really loved playing. First one was being a nurse. I pretended I was being a nurse. So I'd have all my little dolls wrapped up in towels, i.e. beds, and I would check their medication, use my stethoscope, everything like that. And luckily, I never lost a patient. The next game that I loved to play was being a teacher. This time I would have all my little dolls sitting at cardboard desks, and I would do the register, we'd go through various lessons together. That particular game I found a bit more challenging though, because I had some very naughty little dolls in my class, so it was a bit more challenging. So, when I grew up and left school, I had various jobs, such as office jobs. I worked in retail and in factories. In my early 20s, I went to live in Canada. I started off as a nanny, looking after other people's little dolls, i.e. children. And eventually, I trained to become an employment counsellor. And I was working with severely disadvantaged people. So people who had addictions, abuse, experienced abuse, low education. So it was a very difficult target group that I had to work with. And I did one-to-one coaching, I did big group work, and I did training. So it wasn't just about learning how to find employment or your career aspirations. I also learned I'd also teach about confidence building, communication skills, personal development, goal setting, etc., which I really loved. I really loved that very much. So, as Tony said, eventually, because I was working with such a difficult target group, though I would say I was very successful at it, I'd say I had 95% success rate in getting them into training, education, or employment. So my rate was pretty high. But it took its toll on me mentally and physically. So eventually I decided to come back to the UK. And because I just didn't want to work in that field at that point again, I went back to working in offices, which I found actually quite soul destroying. I didn't really feel that I was accomplishing anything other than typing letters or working in HR. I couldn't see any success to the work I was doing, so it wasn't meaningful for me. So I moved down here a couple of years ago, which I absolutely love. I don't think I could live anywhere better in the UK than down here. And I decided that it was time for a career change. So I went in, got my qualification as an assessor. So I would be going out to the workplace and assessing people on apprenticeships. So I haven't actually found employment doing that yet, but that's part of what my long-term goal is. So why am I here? Well, this is to help me build my confidence and my speaking skills, etc. And I am here amongst friends and definitely some inspiring role models that one day I hope to emulate. And this is a very friendly group, it's very encouraging and supportive, so I can possibly be amongst a better group of people to help me aspire to my dream job.
Wow. Icebreaker? Really? My icebreaker did not look like that. Wonderful speech, and obviously my kind of very, very brief version of your story was absolutely floored by the more eloquent story, so thank you for that. So we're going to do the same again as we did last time. We're going to have 2 minutes on the clock, right, please, if we can. And we're going to have a 1-minute discussion as a little group, maybe 2, 3 or 4 people, and then 30 seconds or 1 minute, just again, same story as last time, writing down something that you loved, something that you maybe think could be slightly tweaked or improved, bearing in mind it's a first speech, and then something you kind of just liked. So 2 minutes on the clock, guys, please. Thank you.
Okay, Roger, go.
The icebreaker requires in terms of stand I guess that she did make a
Before, it was like this. It was like this. But if you ask me, I noticed she was really quite nervous. Yeah, and she couldn't use her voice more. I think she was so good speech. The voice was very medicinal. And when she was actually coming off the stage, she left it and she did it. So, I mean, that is one of those things they can do.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but generally, the content, the speech was really brilliant. To me, for that, when she was singing, I was just listening to somebody singing.
Really. It was humbling.
Of course, yeah.
From the heart.
Yeah. It was so sweet. Just Jeremy.
Thanks, I'm really sorry I didn't listen to this. Yeah. I feel like that's my
far too much fun, because when the bell goes, it's many jobs all the time. Everyone, I'm hoping, had a relatively productive conversation and wrote down a few points, something you liked, something you think could be improved, and something you loved. Is that about the deal? Yeah. Fantastic. The next person that we've got speaking in a moment is going to be Jeremy. Evaluating Jeremy is a very experienced, very accomplished, and very polished speaker called Gillian. It's completely true, I didn't make it up. So, Gillian, if you can come to the front of the room, please, and just describe what you're looking for.
Jeremy's speech I'm going to be evaluating is from the storytelling manual. Exciting, I like the storytelling manual. It's an assignment number 3, and it's going to be based on the 2 assignments that he's previously done from the storytelling manual. The objectives of this are to understand that a story can be entertaining, yet display moral values, to create a new story that offers a lesson or morals to us, and to tell the story using the skills developed from the previous projects. The time for this project is 4 to 6 minutes, and the assignment is the moral of the story.
So we all, well, rephrase it, I feel that I know Jeremy quite well. He's been an amazing president over the last 10 or 11 months so far. A wonderful president, really has, really stepped up. I don't think people know this. Jeremy and Tony, between them, created something called the ASW, Accelerated Speaker Workshop. I highly recommend you look into it. I'm not here to sell it, I'm just here to tell you about Jeremy. So Jeremy described himself as 40 plus something. That's regarding age. I might adopt that as well. His favourite toy when he was a child was Lego. And I kind of got really intrigued. I thought, why Lego? Because you can make anything. You can make any toy. Totally flexible, isn't it? Totally adaptable. Which kind of relates to speaking, doesn't it? Jeremy invited me, he casually mentioned, maybe about 6 or 8 months ago, he said, oh yeah, I have a game of badminton. So he invited me down to the club. And you talk about lamb and slaughter. He didn't tell me he was a really, really good player, a really strong player. He's played at the same club 30-something years, about 35 years, I believe. So, without any further nonsense from me, I'm going to invite Jeremy to the front of the stage with his speech called Keep the Lead. Jeremy.
Phineas Taylor was a dandy of a man in 1841 as he strolled around Central Park. He came across a bench, which he sat down there, put his cane in front, and just sat and relaxed. Then a beggar came along, sat next to him, covered in newspapers. Phineas thought, oh my God, why do I always get the nutters? He looked at him. Hello, darling. Oh, perhaps he'll go away if I ignore him. Hello, darling. I am not your darling. But why are you sitting on my bed? Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, that was the first time that Phineas met the beggar. The second time he met the beggar, he was walking his wife up and down the park again. And then he saw out the corner of his eye a beggar making a beeline directly to us. He thought, I hope he doesn't mention the word darling. How can I explain this one? But his wife said, oh, hello, sir. And the beggar says, would you give me $1 for your sandwich? And the wife said, can I see the sandwich first? Phineas was worried. Again, he's seen this beggar, and he didn't want him to start using the word darling. So he said, my good man, are you willing to work hard? Are you willing to sort of do an honest day's pay? And the beggar said, of course I will, governor. He was from London, of course. Meet me on the corner of St Anne's and Broadway. So the third time, the next day, Phineas met the beggar on the corner of Broadway and St Anne's. Phineas owned a museum called the American Museum. And he said, right, I want you to take these 5 bricks. And I want you to go to the first corner and put the first brick. I want you to go to the second corner and put the second brick. I then want you to go to the third corner of the building and put the third brick. Then come back and put the 4th brick on the 4th corner. And with the 5th brick, I want you to go back to the first corner and put it down, and then pick that brick up and take it to the second corner. And to keep doing this for a whole hour. At the end of the hour, I want you to take this ticket and show it to the cashier and come into the museum and visit every room in the museum. And then when you've done that, come back out. But on no account are you to actually say what you're doing and why you're doing it. You're not to speak to anybody. This went on for several hours, by which time a crowd of 1,000 people are gathered watching this man take a brick, move it to the other corner, then move to the other corner, and so on. They were following around the building. And then when he went into the actual museum, dozens of people followed him into the building. Of course, you may have guessed by now who Phileas Taylor Barham is. Probably the world's greatest showman. He knew how to attract people, how to use psychology to attract people. And it's something that we all can learn when we do our speeches. Because so many times we come up here and we say, sorry, this is, I didn't have time to prepare this speech. Again, we surrender the lead. People have come up here, they're expecting. The Toastmaster has done a wonderful job in building you up. The evaluator's told you what you're looking for, and we come up and start off with a whimper. It's like Lewis Hamilton on Sunday, where he's going to compete in the Monaco Grand Prix. He gets pole position, and then as soon as he gets on the race, he then says, I'll start from the back. What I want you to do for your speeches is to not surrender the lead, but to keep the lead. Actually come up with something interesting and entertaining to begin with. You don't even have to actually say good morning, fellow Toastmasters. You can put that in the body of your speech later. So the moral of the story from P.T. Barnum is to keep the lead, to keep the attention, to keep the attraction. So, can I ask you from now on, for all your speeches, to actually keep the lead? Thank you.
You're probably ahead of me in this one. We're now going to be doing exactly the same. Great information from there, from Jeremy. Really, really great information. And well delivered, Jeremy, as well. Thank you for that. We're going to do exactly the same as last time. Little groups of 3, have a conversation for a minute or 2, minute or 30 seconds rather, and then just write down a few pointers. Thank you. We have 2 minutes on the clock, guys, please.
I was just talking before, his great son of God speaker. He brought it, it was too short. I think it was 5 minutes or so. It was too short. He wanted more. There was more, he should have been able to give more to it.
Elaborate.
Exactly, yeah.
I just we've got to get a bit more.
Yeah.
And the other thoughts were really good speakers.
Of course, yeah. And United is leaving one day. I'm surprised you're here today. I was United fan. What are you listening Well, United is leading. I just want them to win. That's really pressure on United today.
Yeah.
Hopefully not in Manchester.
It's better if we postpone it. Some people are just crazy.
So the next person that's going to be sharing with us is Raj. And what we do at this stage of the night is we have the kind of report of the times, because we have a minimum and a maximum and a kind of an